I want to introduce you to my third great grandmother, Julia Frances Brazil Wise. Julia was born in 1850 in Arkansas. Julia was the 12th child. When Julia was 13, her mother died. Her father remarried and had 9 more children for a total of 21 children. 11 of those 21 children died at an early age. Julia Brazil married Columbus Harris Wise when she was 19. Julia and Columbus then went on to have 10 children of their own. One of their children was named Giles Wesley Wise, who married my second great-grandmother, Minnesota Snyder. Giles and Minnesota had 10 children and named one of their girls Julia Alice Wise. Julia Alice Wise is my grandmother's sister. I was named after my great aunt, Julia Alice Wise, who was named after her grandmother, Julia Frances Brazil. So as you can see, my name is Suzette Julia Stewart. My grandmother's sister, her name is Julia Alice Wise, who I am named after. Her father and mother are Giles Wesley Wise and Minnesota Snyder. Giles named his daughter Julia after his own mother, Julia Frances Brazil. So as you can see, Julia has been passed down for 3 different generations, and the name is being carried on. So as you know, my name is Suzette Julia Stewart Coates, and I was named after my great grandmother for 3 generations. And what was neat about this project with Family Search is you can pull a bunch of different data and records and information through the Family Search process. So this is just a quick pedigree of how I'm actually directly related to Julia Frances and how she comes through here. And then I was able to pull quick data of Julia and her 10 children. And as you can see, the small little photos you can't really see, but there are actually photos that we have found in each one, and you can directly link that to the person so you can create a bond, a face, and a memory with that ancestor. Then I was able to come over here and pull more information of the direct line of Julia's child that links to me. So it goes from Julia to one of her 10 children, which is Giles Wesley, that is my great grandmother, that goes to her 10 children, or Giles' 10 children, that then one of those 10 children was my grandmother, who had my father and his sister. And then my father then went on to have 5 children, and my aunt went on to have 2. Then the next thing that I was able to break down is the total just direct descendancies that we had from Julia. So let me show you here. Columbus and Julia had 10 children. And of those 10 children, they had 37 children. But out of that 10 children, you have Giles Wesley Wise, who is my great-grandfather, who had 10 children of his own. And one of those 10 children is my grandmother, Vivian. But of those direct 10 children of my grandmother, they had 28 of their own. And going back to my grandmother with the 2 children, my father was one of those children who had 5 of his own, and I am Suzette Julia Stewart, named back after my 3rd generation great-grandmother, Julia Frances Brazil. This has been so fun and exciting to get to know my own heritage and where my namesake came from, so that when I have my own children, I can pass that on to generations after that. Okay, as you can see, this is my person page. This is what's so fun about Family Search is you can actually add different things into make it more personable and relatable to you and to your family history. So as you can see right here, we have memories. All right, so we have 16 different memories in here, and you can add photos, documents, stories, and audio. So you have photos. I've got a few different photos in here. Me and my family when it was just us with my mom and my dad. And then one of my favorite photos, me and my dad eating a banana. You have some neat photos in here of different state conferences that we took. When Elder Russell M. Nelson came and stayed in our house when my father was a stake president. And I told him I hated primary, and he was like, well, the truth of the mouth of babes. So I should go ahead and actually write that story up here in stories so that I don't forget that and we can share that. You have pictures of me and my cute husband. And then again, another picture of me young visiting my grandmother out in Rockwood, one of my favorite places. So these are just neat things that you can do, adding and uploading and making it personal to you. Now, as you can see on my father's page, he has a lot of memories, which is fun because these are memories that I will be able to have once he's passed from this earth. So he has 58 in here that he has stored. All these great photos of when he was showing sheep and when he was young. Look how handsome and cute my father was. And then his horse, his nickname Sunsy. Look how cute he was as a little boy. And then his dog that they called Boy, but it was really a girl. So just different memories that you can go down and go from that you can add. And then there are stories that you can add that are directly linked to videos that my family has created. He's put in here how he his conversion story of how he joined the church and his testimony, his grandmother, and then just different interviews and stuff like that they've added. So now, as you can see, this is my grandmother, and we've put in 56 different memories and photos that we have of her as a young girl and her with my aunt, just different things, her handwriting, that's really neat. Picture of her old post office, her standing by her old post office boxes that have been put in my aunt's home. And then a couple of stories that I actually wrote. One of these as an English genealogy project, early marriage during the Depression, and it was an interview that I did on her and then wrote an essay on it. And so this is something that I actually wrote when I was in my youth, and we were able to upload it on here. So that's what I think is so neat about Family Search and all of the different stuff that you can do within your tree so that you can add photos and make it more personal like we have done to ours. So when I was in college, I created this book on my genealogy, and this is just a little bit of the genealogy of my family history. Now we have phones, computers, laptops, iPads, and every technology at your fingertips that you'd use daily. As you go throughout this summer in the Roots Camp, I encourage you to make this project fun. Enjoy it. Use all the technology we have and the beautiful resources of the internet and the computer and Family Search and what the church has provided us to be able to make larger data than this small book that has maybe 40 pages in it and create the largest family history tree. Take that work to the temple and enjoy the blessings that brings to you. Have fun, enjoy it, and be enthusiastic at the same time. Take care.